What's going on? It's Sheep the Watch. How you guys doing tonight? Let's get into the lair. What's up, guys? It's Sheep. Tonight we have a few things I want to talk about, and as you guys may or may not know, I went to Galaxy's Edge this past Saturday, and I kind of want to talk about that as well. We have a lot going on in Star Wars over the next 10 years, and 2020 was the start of a somewhat of a lull period, as we got Mando, and we got Clone Wars season 7, so that was the start of this decade, for Star Wars, right? And we have a lot going forward. We have Mando 3 coming at the end of the year, basically Mando 3 is coming. We have Book of Boba coming at the end of the year. We have Vision still coming up. The rest of the last 5 episodes of the Bad Batch, which I am very excited for. We have Lando coming up eventually. We have the Acolyte. We have Rogue Squadron, a droid story. Who knows about Rangers of the New Republic at this point? I think there's still a chance that show could get made, but right now it is kind of shelved, if you will. Of course, we will potentially get Mando 3 someday. And then we have the Ahsoka and Obi-Wan show as well. And, with some of the rumors that we've been hearing about Grogu and Din Djarin potentially being in Book of Boba Fett, spoiler alert, who knows though? We have no validity on that, no confirmation, of course. But yeah, with that going around, I wanted to talk a little bit about a Grogu theory I had, and what I think potentially could be the future of Star Wars over the next 9 years of this decade, And I want to start off, we know how old Grogu is just from that first episode of Mando, where he's sent to go find a 50-year-old, and it turns out to be a baby Yoda. It wasn't really a 50-year-old, although it is 50 years old. But the significance of its age is actually often underlooked. The Mandalorian takes place in 9 ABY, which is after the Battle of Yavin, which is the big battle where the Death Star blows up. That's where the Star Wars timeline kind of is at zero, I guess you could say. Everything before that is it's like AD and BB, or it's like a real actual time like ours. It's just the Star Wars timeline. I can't even think of it right now. But with that being said, 9 ABY, if you subtract 50 years, that is 41 BBY, which is before the Battle of Yavin. And the significance of that year is actually the birth of Anakin Skywalker, of course. So that means that Grogu and Anakin are the same age. Although, of course, Anakin is dead by the Mandalorian, the significance still remains. And the fact that he was born around the same time as Anakin is a really, really big hint to what his future could potentially lead to. Back in, I think, episode 3, there's a scene where Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and Yoda are having a conversation, and they talk about how the prophecy could have been misread. And of course, I still am in belief that Anakin was the chosen one, as he did bring balance. But it is possible the prophecy was misled too, But I think it's super possible Grogu is part of this prophecy. I think the significance of his character is going to be echoed, especially over the next 10 years, if not beyond. This character could potentially live in the Star Wars galaxy for 800 years. And that's a whole 800 years of Star Wars, just of Star Wars, that they could put throughout the next 50 years of storytelling if they wanted. Let's be real. Plus, we have all of Yoda's backstory that we could eventually get to also. Someone talked about in one of my most recent streams how Star Wars is going to outlive us and outlast the fandom, and I definitely think it will. I think Star Wars will always have its fans, and there will always be people that love it. It's such an incredible story with amazing themes, and obviously everything comes to an end someday, but I think Star Wars is going to live way past us, and probably for the next 50 years at least, we could see a lot more stories unfold, if not even more years than that. So throughout that time, I think we're going to get a lot of Grogu, especially as he's been set up pretty much at the beginning of the Disney era. You know, Disney maybe has had Star Wars about 10 years now. It's about actually been 9, I believe, and they are going to have Star Wars for a very long time. This is one of the most valuable IPs, regardless of whatever happens to the fandom. There will be fans for this, and people will like choose certain things that they like over the years. But I definitely think Grogu's at the center of this. You know, I think the future, I'm not sure, you know, with him being rumored in the Book of Boba Fett, and how John took the Mandalorian show and based it off of Paper Moon, I think it's very, very possible that Grogu doesn't stay with Luke very long. If he does stay with Luke, even cooler, because then he's going to have awesome Force abilities by the time he comes back, and he's going to be trained. You know, he already was trained at the Jedi Temple as a youngling, and now, like, obviously it's been quite some time since that happened. Almost 30 years, really. But I think 28, really. But you know, him, you know, reuniting with Luke and being able to learn how to use the Force again, I think it might even come back quick, and it's possible he does come back to Din with a little more Force knowledge, even if it's not a lot. I don't actually think Grogu will be a Jedi in the sense. I think the Jedi Order is somewhat gone, and even Luke in episode 8 says it's time for the Jedi Order to end. Now, I don't believe Luke thinks the Jedi Order is dead at this point in time, at the Mandalorian or Book of Boba, as he clearly started to rebuild the Jedi Order and then, you know, brought in Ben Solo into that order. But I do think maybe he knew that Din and Grogu belonged together, just like Ahsoka kind of did. And I think it's more likely that Grogu will become a Force-using Mandalorian Yoda species character, which is the craziest, coolest thing anyone could ever possibly think of, in my opinion. Like, who the heck would think of that, you know? And I think it's possible that by the time the Mandalorian eventually ends, that the Grogu character will, you know, be there to witness the death of Din Djarin, and the Darksaber will be passed on to him. And I cannot wait. Like, I love Din Djarin. I think that is... I'm gonna show you guys this. Oh yeah, baby. Slave One. It ain't no Boba Fett starship. This is Slave One out here. Coolest hoodie I've ever had, man. This thing is dope. I love this hoodie. I'm gonna be wearing this during the Book of Boba Fett watch parties, and I'm hyped for the Book of Boba Fett. You know, like I was saying, the future of Star Wars, I think, is super, super bright, and the Book of Boba Fett is only the start of that, you know. So there is an article I did want to show you guys too about the upcoming Star Wars shows and series and everything. So let's get into that real quick. Cool. All right. This is from Entertainment Weekly, I think. So their article is about every upcoming Star Wars movie and TV series in the works. From June 16th. It says, when George Lucas opened up the curtain on a galaxy far, far away, he could never have imagined that his interpreted space film would launch a universe that included dozens of follow-up films, Star Wars television shows, radio plays, cartoons, and theme park rides. Yeah. Star Wars content has never been in short supply by any means, but after the back-to-back release of The Last Jedi and Solo, then Disney Studio chief Bob Iger made the decision to scale back on theatrical output just as Mandalorian was starting production, which we all know how that went. That doesn't mean we don't have a ton of new Star Wars content to look forward to on both the movies and television side. What the heck just happened? Alright, my bad. Friggin' stupid technology. Alright, Lucasfilm has no shortage of new properties debuting over the next few years, and with properties in the works that stretch into 2023 and beyond. The slate is more massive than ever. Here are all the new Star Wars shows and movies on the way. Of course, we have the Book of Boba Fett in December. We have Visions, which we now know is coming out September 22nd. The Andor show, which will be in 2022. Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is 2022 as well. I cannot wait for that. The Mandalorian Season 3, which, as I always say, who the heck knows when that's coming out? Rogue Squadron, which is apparently confirmed for December 23rd, 2023. The Ahsoka show, which is probably my most highly anticipated series. Rangers of the New Republic. Who knows if that show is even coming out anymore, but I think it could still be cool to see. Especially if Hera's in it. And, after that last Bad Batch episode, I would love to see a show where Hera's kind of at the center and, has a bunch of other people in it. The Lando show, The Acolyte, as I said, a droid story. And this is where we get pretty interesting stuff. And stuff I wanted to talk about for the future of Star Wars as well. Now, an untitled Taika Waititi film, which we've known about for some time. And of course, he helped direct the season finale of the first season of The Mandalorian. And then an untitled Kevin Feige film, which I haven't talked about really at all, maybe a few times, but there is another article that I will talk about in a few minutes. But we know that this movie is apparently being written by Michael Waldron, who is also the writer for the Loki series, which is doing freaking phenomenal. I love that show. And we also have the title, or he also is working on Doctor Strange too. I love this guy. He's worked on Rick and Morty, and I think he does some really, really fun stuff. And frankly, anything produced by Kevin Feige is pretty much gold. So I think it's going to be one of the best things ever. And we'll get into that article in a minute. But there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. We don't want to talk about the bottom thing. I'm just kidding. An untitled J.D. Dillard project. This Slate filmmaker J.D. Dillard is working on a new Star Wars feature with Luke Cage and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. writer Matt Owens. It is rumored the film will take place on Exegol, the hidden Sith planet last seen in The Rise of Skywalker. I did not know about this before reading this article. I don't know if this is true, and who knows if it will eventually happen still. We have a history of projects getting canceled over here at Lucasfilm, so who knows what the future holds in terms of this, but I think it could be really cool. And I don't know much about J.D. Dillard, but the writer of Luke Cage and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sounds pretty darn good for a Star Wars movie to me, if I'm being real. And then we have the untitled Rian Johnson trilogy, which who even knows if that'll happen anymore either. Let's get out of that, though. Head back into the lair. What's up? All right. So I wanted to talk about this Kevin Feige film real quick. And I'm not going to pull up the article, but I'll tell you guys what it says. And basically, like I said, it talks about Michael Waldron and how he was writing the script for it. This is a little bit an old article as well. It's from January, actually, before WandaVision. But Kevin said that they're not really, they're trying to figure out how it would work. And he says, everything you've heard about Michael Waldron has been leaked. It's not stuff that we've officially announced or gotten into. So suffice to say, the focus is all on the number of Marvel things we're working on, the what, where, and when of how that Star Wars movie will be, made. And he says, I don't know. I'm excited for the Book of Boba Fett and the Rogue One show, which is the Andor show. And he says he's excited for the Obi-Wan show, of course, and Patty's film and Taika's film. Of course, he's excited for Taika's film. And he talks about how that'll be after Love and Thunder as he smiles, It says that, here's the juicy stuff I wanted to say. Where was it? Might have passed it. Alright, here you go. Variety addressed the Michael Waldron reports and asked him about the time he's thinking to make the movie, whether it's early, mid, or late 2020s. This is a rather pertinent question because as of today, there are 3 Star Wars films. We know that Patty Jenkins is making the Rogue Squadron one, the Taika film, and then another movie that comes out in 2025, which could be that Exegol movie we just saw. And that leaves a 2027 spot for Feige's movie. But are there more dates for Lucasfilm? Is just not just working with internally? Yeah, and that's where Feige talks about he doesn't really know the timing of it. But if that leaves a 2027 slot, that's another 6 years from now, and we could potentially get another at least 4 Mando seasons in reality, maybe 3, but we can get more Mandalorian in that time frame. And if we're getting a lot more Mandalorian, I think that 2027 Feige movie that we've heard is rumored to be an 11 or Avengers type movie, for Star Wars. I think that could, combine all of these these Dave Filoni things and the Filoniverse into one culminating film that could potentially lead to Din Djarin passing the Darksaber to Grogu. And maybe they will both become leaders of Mandalore one day, or the new Mandalorians. And I think that would be the coolest thing ever. I'm so excited for the future of Star Wars. I think this next decade is going to be freaking awesome. But what are you guys thinking? I want to see what the chat's thinking. My bad. I know I haven't been talking with y'all much tonight, but what do you guys think? What do you think? How you doing, Justin is Lost? What's up, all new nerds? Ducky Momo in the house. What's up, Darth Ryan? What's up? Justin is Lost says, I'm not feeling the Bad Batch, so I guess that's why I'm not feeling that there's no Star Wars stuff going on. I love that first episode, though. I don't know why I don't like the rest. Justin, I don't know either, and some of it for sure has been a little slow. And I think, honestly, you've said it before that you love to see lightsabers in Star Wars, and I know there are fans like that. I mean, it's nothing bad. Like, you shouldn't feel bad for feeling that way either. If you like Star Wars and like the main thing you like is lightsabers, I can't really blame you, dude. Lightsabers are some of the coolest thing. I think it's what all drew most of us to Star Wars, and a lot of us prequel fans love the prequels from all the lightsabers and actual good lightsaber duels that we get in them. So I get you, man, and I understand where you're coming from. I love all aspects of Star Wars, though. I know you probably do too, and like, I'm not saying you don't or anything. It's just, I don't know, man. These little things that I just sweat over, man. I just love it. I love it all, man. All New Nerd says, give us Grogu and some Mando armor now. And I'm with you, man. A Grogu and a little Mando helmet, please. Silver, though. He has to wear silver like his pops. Turn the beat up in my headphones, dog. You want the beat up? Is it too high? I know I haven't really been looking at the chat, so how do I sound tonight? I think I'm looking good with this boba sweater, but shout out to Met. Met is the homie over there. What's up, Rello? He says, facts. I hope they do too. Cool. Glad everything's sounding good. Grogu to the moon, says Obi-Wan the homie. Yeah, man. They have to send Grogu to the moon. Matt, what's up? Hey, there's Matt, guys. Much love to you, bro. This is the dopest sweater ever. For real. Justin's Law says, yeah, man. I need lightsabers and the Force users at least a little bit, or it doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. That's the thing, man. Stuff just like Hera freaking flying around and having dreams of, one day being a pilot. That to me, as Star Wars as it gets. But I totally get you. And, I get where you're coming from. Lightsabers is the core dopeness of Star Wars. But, Star Wars is more the story within that. And, just shit like fucking Hera wanting to fly around at like the age of 10, even though she looks like she's 20. That is so dope, man. It's just dope. I love the connectivity, the connective tissue, if you will. It's dope. Darth Grogu, says Darth Chaos. That is a possibility. I think he'll potentially become a leader of Mandalore, but we've seen this fool choking out people. Jeez, imagine him just being like a ruthless ruler of Mandalore, just like off with their head. Their head off with it. I don't know how he would. Do you guys think Grogu will talk backwards like Yoda does? I think that would be freaking hilarious, and I would love it. Vader could save the series for sure. What are we talking about? Hold out for Vader, hopefully. Bro, for sure. That would be dope. We could see Kanan again, and maybe that's not a big deal. But I think Kanan meeting up with Hera would be sick in this show. Even if it retcons a few things. Yeah. I think I think I'm going to talk about something else real quick too. This past Saturday, I actually went to, speaking of the future of Star Wars, I went to Galaxy's Edge, man. This is the second time I've been to the Galaxy's Edge. I live in the California area, so I got a 3-day pass for like a little cheaper, back before COVID started. And around my 21st birthday, I went to Galaxy's Edge because it had just opened up a couple months prior. And, you know, it was just after episode 9, and it was pretty dope, man. The first time you go there, there's nothing quite like it. You know, it really is so like, you feel like you're in the Star Wars world when you're there. Of course, you're in California or Florida, but it just, all the surroundings, you really feel it hits different when you're there, man. I gotta say, the second time it definitely hit different, but I don't know, there is a limited amount of things you can do, and this is as honest as a review I can get. The place is freaking awesome, but there's not enough to do yet, and they need to add a lot more. You know, it is such a fun place to go to, and I could just ride that Millennium Falcon ride all dang day if they want, like, if they let me, you know, just let me go again. And, you know, even going on that ride, it's the freaking coolest thing ever. I'm going to make a video on it, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. Maybe you've seen it already too, but when you're walking into that ride, you're literally on the freaking Millennium Falcon, and it is the coolest freaking thing ever. Not to mention, you know, the whole area. Doc Ondar's is the coolest place. It's freaking expensive as hell. So if you ever go, definitely bring a wallet, bring a checkbook, bring your credit cards. Just swipe away and make sure you pay it off, you know. But I will be doing some lightsaber reviews while I was there. Unfortunately, you know, a month ago they freaking had the Darksaber, and I had heard some kind of iffy things about it. You know, part of it was thicker on the top than the bottom, or like, you know, it just didn't look proportionally right. There was like these 4 little light level bars that you can see in the sword, and only the top 2 light up. The top of the blade wasn't very bright, and then of course the like black spot, or, you know, the black part of the saber was apparently like really thin. Just from some of the reviews that I've seen online, and it wasn't just like one person that said this about it. There was multiple people on YouTube alone, like, talking about, you know, the little issues with the saber. So I went this past Saturday expecting to buy 2 things from the store. I was thinking of getting the Palpatine cloak, and I probably should have. I really wanted to for my videos, but I ended up not even being able to get the Darksaber because they are not selling it currently, which sucked because that was literally a month ago that they released it. But at the same time, it makes me excited that they could potentially make it better and bring it back at least later in the year, if not, you know, a little after that. We know that the Cal Kestis lightsaber will be there by the end of the year, and I wanted to go back just to get that lightsaber. That's one of my favorite lightsabers in all of Star Wars. I love how sleek and cool it looks. But while I was there, I did get the thing I wanted to get. So I'll show you guys that real quick. I got the Ahsoka Clone Wars sabers. And this thing is freaking dope, man. They are dope. It's freaking amazing. So it is the saber from season 7 after Anakin does his little thing to it. So it is blue. But the coolest thing about this, and Sheev's about to disappear, you can also turn it green. And yes, now I'm gone, but that's the coolest thing ever, man. This lightsaber is sick. The sound also changes. It sounds completely different from when it's blue to green, just like it does in the Clone Wars. It's one of the coolest things ever, man. I freaking love it. But yeah, I definitely went ham while I was there. I'm gonna do some saber reviews. That wasn't the only one I got, but I didn't end up getting the Darksaber like I was hoping to, so it's all good though. It's all good. But yeah, man, overall, Galaxy's Edge is really, really fun. Definitely, if you have some money, it's like I said in my last stream, the coolest gift shop I've probably ever been to. I tried some of the food this time. Their drinks are really good, actually. Not even like the alcoholic drinks. I didn't end up getting into the little cantina place, but their actual like drinks are really, really good too. So it's fun. Their food is pretty good. Everything's super expensive because it's Disneyland, but it's dope. And it is just a part of Disneyland, so of course like when I say there's not a lot to do, it's because they want you to visit the rest of the park. But I feel like Star Wars Land should be its own thing. Galaxy's Edge should be so big that it's crazy. The last thing I want to say about it before we change the topic and get into the chat, I ended up getting on Rise of Resistance. I was really happy about just being able to get on it. You have to reserve your spot for it at like 7 a.m. There's another chance at like 12, but I was able to get the 7 a.m. slot, and I went about midday while I was there. That ride is freaking dope, man. If you haven't been on the Rise of Resistance, and if you do end up going to Galaxy's Edge, make sure you definitely, schedule that ahead of time and try to get on that ride. It's freaking cool, man. It is such a cool experience. I mean, I took some videos, and I will put that into my Galaxy's Edge video that I'm gonna be putting together. But yeah, man, go check out some videos online, or just like go experience the ride for yourself, because that thing was freaking dope, man. It was awesome, an awesome experience. So overall, definitely there's a lot to do at Galaxy's Edge, but still not enough, man. I want more, and I know I shouldn't, But yeah, man, Galaxy's Edge is a fun time. It is quite the expensive trip, but if you guys do end up getting a chance to go one day, you definitely should, man. You definitely should. What are we talking about? Yeah, Justin's Law says it should be its own park. Exactly. And I think eventually, I was talking with my girlfriend because we went together, and we both think it has a lot of potential, but it needs to grow. And we think it possibly will one day, but they need to add more to it. There needs to be more than just a sequel part of the park. I think they should do a prequel, an original trilogy part of the park, and just have battle droids walking around in the prequel area, or like clone troopers, and then have this area already has First Order and like Kylo Ren and Rey walking around, Chewbacca, but they should, and even with the original trilogy, have the stormtroopers walking around, some rebels or something. That'd be really cool. We have the rebels already at the Galaxy's Edge now too, but I want to expand it. I want more. It should be more than a park. Yeah, man, there should be a whole freaking Star Wars world. Forget Disney World or Disneyland. Give me Star Wars Land and Star Wars World. That's what I need. Jedi Mike says, how about those Rise of Resistance surprises? Yeah, dude, there were some parts of that ride where I was like, how the heck did they even do this? This is the coolest thing ever, man. I swear. That ride blew me away, to be honest. Definitely blew me away. So dope. What's up, Vito? You're at work? Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in. They're killing off a cash cow, Legion Gamer. What's he talking about? You gotta go Hasbro Darksaber toy. Yeah, I was thinking about that. The Jedi Mike, you're talking about the Black Series one, right? Or is it even Black Series? It is probably just a Hasbro. I'm getting the re-armored Boba Fett Black Series helmet. Or I think it comes out around the time of the Book of Boba. So I'm gonna be wearing this and that big old helmet. My green screen is gonna blend in with it. It's gonna look sick. I hope it looks sick. That was loud. What do you guys think, though? You excited for the next 10 years of Star Wars? Like 9 years? Because I'm freaking hyped, man. I'm excited for this Bad Batch episode. I heard some rumors coming out about this Bad Batch episode. People are speculating, as always. And I think Star Wars Meg was talking about how she thinks Crosshair still will be redeemed. And I definitely think that's very possible. She was saying how it's possible that the ion blasters, or the ion blasts from the Venator potentially could have done some radiation stuff to his chip, and that could have deactivated it. and she thinks he could be faking it at this point. And I think it's possible, but it is a little far-fetched. You know, her argument behind it was really, really good. She talked about how he seemed more accurate in this compared to when he had the chip. He had the toothpick in his mouth again, and you know, being around Hauser, I think it definitely could be. It definitely could make sense that the two of them kind of rebel against the Empire. And also, the next episode is actually titled Rescue on Ryloth. So I think, you know, a lot of these episodes have like double meanings, and it's possible that the rescue of Ryloth could be, you know, Hera and her family, or, you know, Hera or Champs and Dula that they rescue. But it also could be that they're rescuing Crosshair, or Hauser even. You know, it could even be both of them. You know, Omega already made a promise to Hunter that they would save Crosshair, and Hunter made a promise to Omega that they wouldn't go back to Kamino. So in a way, they would have to, if they're going to save Crosshair, they would have to do it off-world, because they don't want to go back to Kamino. And I think it makes a lot of sense that you know, they could potentially end up saving Crosshair, rescuing Crosshair, and then rescuing Hauser even. I think it makes a lot of sense. 20 years of Vader's Lair? Oh, man. I'll be like 42, man. We'll see. I would love to, you know, keep Vader's Lair alive for 20 years. That would be sick. I hope I get big enough to be able to do that. Jedi Mike says, not even Black Series. I'll tag you in Vader's Lair Discord. Cool. Thank you. If you guys didn't know, we're going to be doing a giveaway over on the Discord. When we reach 500 subscribers, we are going to be giving away 5 Funko Pops. We're going to be giving away the Bad Batch Funkos to 5 lucky members of the Discord. So if you haven't already, go check out the Discord link below and join us. Join me. And together, our Discord will be lit. That's right. Oh, yes. Go check out the Vader's Lair Twitter as well. We are at Vader's Lair, of course, you know. No apostrophe or spaces. It's just Vader's Lair on there. Legions Gaming says, Vader's Lair, the chip and clones are confusing. If the chips are made to make clones follow order without question, how did the clone rebellion on Umbara happen? You asked me that in the comments, I think, Legion Gaming, and that is an excellent question. I don't even know a lot about the clone uprising on Umbara. I totally had to look that up the other day because I blanked on it. But we're gonna look it up real quick for you. Because honestly, Battle of Umbara clone. Is that the... You're talking about Pong Krell? That's different, though. That's different. The Umbara uprising happened because the chips were not in effect yet. They basically... Order 66 had not taken place at this point, and Pong Krell was committing treason. Literally. It's treason, then. You know, he was committing treason against the Republic and making the clones kill each other, pretty much. He was also killing clones ruthlessly for basically no reason, just because he could, and because he had the power to, as a general. And, you know, he's one of those, defecty Jedi that just was out here marking people. He's kind of like Barasafi in that way. Pong Krell is one of the worst Jedi in all of the dang saga. I hate that guy. All the homies hate Pong Krell, and that's how that took place. Yeah, the inhibitor chips were not activated again. Luis Escalante says, do you collect Star Wars figures? If you do, vintage collection or Black Series? Part of me wants to say I'm glad I haven't yet. I have a ridiculous amount of Star Wars Funkos. I mean, I bought a Grand Admiral Thrawn pop when it was $100, and now it's worth like 300 something. So my Star Wars Funko addiction is ridiculous. That's why I'm giving some away. But no, I do not yet. I've been thinking about getting into it, and I just don't have the money right now. Aiden talks Star Wars talk. He says, "What's up? What up, Aiden? How are you, my guy? What's up, man? What up, B Grissom? I'm glad you made it. I'm glad y'all made it." Lair coin says Jedi Mike. Ducky Momo says, "By the time I finish typing about what Sheev is talking about, he's already moved on to 2 new topics. I'm going to just become a lurker for the rest of the night." Well, I'm in a lull period now. Help me out, Ducky Momo. What do you want to ask me? We've talked about a lot already. We've gone over a lot in this 30 minutes. What questions do you guys have for me? Come on, Ducky. Do you guys want to talk about what are you thinking of the future of Star Wars? Did you guys miss that? Luis Escalante says, "Be careful. Once you start, there's no coming back." That's why I haven't started, man. Have you seen I'm telling you, man, my Funko Pop collection. It's ridiculous. Ducky Momo says he's looking. No, Ducky, please. No, please don't. Obi-Wan the homie says, "Are we gonna see Wolf and Gregor in the Bad Batch?" Excellent question, and I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've been theorizing about it. I will say I did find out that there is Arabesh writing on Chopper, and part of going to Galaxy's Edge this weekend, I'm starting to learn Arabish now. But there's an Arabish writing on Chopper, and something that you like a scanner or something Chopper does. There's Arabish writing that pops up that reads Wolf. Of course, Dave Filoni. Come on. But it also could be a hint that we will see Wolf, Commander Wolf. And I don't know. I don't think it's a long shot, especially with everything going on. We've seen how the Empire is treating these senators and these planets. Ducky filling one of Santa's prediction sheets. Yeah, he's using all my theories. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I was saying, but B Grissom says, "Do you think we'll see the origin story of Hera and Caleb?" I was talking about that a little bit earlier. I think it's possible, man. I want to see it. I would love to see it, to be honest. I think, I think Jedi Mike was telling me that they meet for the first time in the New Dawn books, and honestly, I would not be surprised if that kind of gets tossed out the wayside and they make a new canon, because Dave is already kind of switching up the comics and whatnot. So I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put that past him. What else is we talking about? Smash that like button, by the way, while we're in here. Please. It helps a lot. It helps the channel. Tommy Banana says, "Yo, what's up, Tommy Banana? How are you, man?" Luis Escalante says, "You should show your Funkos someday." Oh, man. If you join the Discord, you could see we have a Funko, or like a toy Funko area of the Discord, and you can see my collection. I actually added 3 things today that I'm quite proud of and not proud of at the same time. My girlfriend works at Chalice Collectibles, so I get all the hookups, and that's part of why my Funko addiction is so crazy. I get like a 30% discount on everything. But today I got the Chalice Darth Maul, where he has the black saber, or the dark saber, and the split in half Maul saber. That pop is freaking phenomenal. Go check that pop out. It's definitely worth it. And then I got the Tatooine. I don't even know if it's Tatooine in particular, but I got the Qui-Gon Jinn Tatooine pop. Not the like old Qui-Gon pop, but the newer one, and that pop is dope too. And then the last one I got was Echo again. I'm giving away an Echo, but that's my favorite member of the Bad Batch, so I got a second Echo for myself. Legion Gaming says, "I think shows and like non-mainline movies are the future of Star Wars." Legion Gaming, I think you're probably right in a way. I think honestly they're trying to model themselves off of Marvel. My bad. And Josh over at the Den of Nerds has been talking about for a long time how he sees the Filoniverse as something that, Dave Filoni is going to do what Marvel does and have all these movies that tie into each other and now shows that tie into each other. And he's going to take the Star Wars shows that he's creating and the stories that he's intertwining, just like George did, and he's going to smash them all together into one big movie that I think Kevin Feige is going to produce and Michael Waldron is writing. There's another thing I wanted to talk about, but I will ask what you guys think about that real quick, since I'd be changing the topics too quick. I just be thinking of a ton of stuff while I'm streaming, to be honest. A lot of these could be videos of their own, but I'm talking about it. I'm having a good time with y'all. How are you tonight, Tommy Banana? How are you, my guy? Raiders Lair, what do you think the next episode title of The Bad Batch means? I was kind of talking about that, Jedi Mike. I actually think the episode of The Bad Batch titled Rescue on Ryloth could be a double conundrum in a way, or, a double meaning, in which Hera and her dad and her mom could potentially be saved. I actually think her mom might not survive this episode, or she could be taken by the Empire and become a prisoner. They might be able to save her, rescue Cham, who is a very important part of Ryloth. But I think it is possible I got a bad feeling about this. Something bad is going to happen to Hera's mom. But I think the other thing it could mean is that Rescue on Ryloth, the Bad Batch is going to rescue Crosshair or Hauser, maybe both, from the Empire. Obi-Wan Nahomi says, are we going to see Omega in a Mandalorian helmet? I think it's definitely possible. Star Wars Santa and myself have been theorizing and talking for a long time that Omega could potentially get that white Boba helmet. Will Morgan over at Meta Egg originally kind of, him and Santa collaborated on that theory, and I kind of adopted it into my own. I was hoping that Boba Fett would make that helmet his, but now we kind of have confirmation that Boba Fett already has a helmet, so that's not going to be his helmet. So maybe this bond that Sid and Omega are creating could lead to her getting the white Boba helmet that we see in Sid's room in episode 5 of The Bad Batch. Legion Gaming says, wait. Jedi Mike says, Omega. If Hauser escapes with the Bad Batch, they meet Rex again. Yeah, dude, I actually think that they set up Rex to come back in the show. I don't know if that'll happen now or in potentially a season 2. I was thinking that the end of the season we could see Rex again, and I do think after this episode we're gonna get into some of the juicy stuff with this series. 4 episodes usually means Dave Filoni is about to go off, and on that Dave Filoni note, people have been saying on Twitter a little bit that Dave Filoni is a little overhyped and maybe gets too much praise. And, since they're saying that, which I definitely disagree, and I'll be making a video on what I think about that, definitely we got to give credit to the people working on The Bad Batch, man. Especially if you guys are enjoying this. I know not everyone is, but if you are, the writers on this show have been doing phenomenal. Joel Aaron and his team of FX and visual people and everything, lighting people, the whole lighting crew, his team is freaking killing it. He actually took a picture of like one of the flying backgrounds when Hera is flying in that last episode. He took a picture on a plane coming home from Mexico or something, or landing in Mexico, and the picture that he took, and he did like a painting over it. Freaking beautiful. It looks amazing in the episode. The way he does some of these effects and lighting and just the imagery that we see in Star Wars, animated at least, this dude freaking kills it. His team is doing phenomenal. Their animation is top tier. I've never seen a show that looks so crisp and amazing like this one does. So shout out to the entire team working over there at Lucasfilm Animation. They're killing it, man. But yeah, I think Rex and Hauser could potentially definitely meet up with team up with the Bad Batch. I think it's possible that Even Crosshair could, team up with them again. Come back. Legion Gaming says, what about grown-up Omega and the Mandalorian? Do you think it's a possibility, Vader Slayer? Legion Gaming, I know you're new here. But I've been saying that for weeks now, man. I've been talking about Daniel Logan potentially playing a younger Boba and flashbacks of Boba Fett in the Book of Boba, as we've been told that we will see some of Boba's past and how he got to where he is in the Book of Boba Fett. So, yeah, man. I definitely think that we're going to see Omega in that show. I think it's possible we even see Boba Fett in the Bad Batch, and that would tie it in for the Book of Boba Fett coming out in December. And how would that not make sense? Like, if they don't do that, it's a lost opportunity on them, I don't know how they wouldn't at this point. They've had so many hints to Boba. I've freaking talked about it a million times on my streams, man. Boba Fett has been hinted at least 30 times in this damn show. If I don't get Boba Fett in this show, I'm gonna be pissed. You're gonna see Sheev rage. The freaking castle behind me, this side, the castle is gonna catch on fire. I'm gonna get mad if I don't see Boba Fett in this show, man. Not really. I'll control myself. But I really want it. I do. Josh rage? Oh no. This is Sheev rage. It's different. Obi-Wan the homie, aka Beskar Batman. Cowboy Dave deserves his flowers. He deserves some mad respect, I'll tell you that much. I must protect Dave, says B. Grissom. We all must. I don't care. Shills, don't be attacking my homie. Dave Filoni has done the most for us. And you know what? The writers and people that are working on all this stuff, it's because of him, damn it. He's the showrunner. So thank you, Dave Filoni, for picking the people you do. You're freaking amazing. Luis Escalante says, will Mace Windu come back in the next 10 years? I'm going to turn on my music so you can maybe hear these crickets. Probably not. But maybe. It's very, very possible. I'm on the hype train of seeing Mace Windu again. I think Samuel L. Jackson wants to come back and play Mace Windu. But also they would have to pay that man a bag. And I don't know if they want to do that for him probably dying again. So everyone they bring back dies again. Think about it. Cad Bane's going to die to Boba Fett. He will come back. Facts. He probably will. But we'll see. I hope he does. I really hope he does. Omega is the armor from the Mando season 1, says Lord Vito. I've thought about that, and I've talked about it multiple times, but I don't know, man. I kind of hope she's not, but it would be freaking dope if she is. That was Rello earlier too, my bad. Alright. Jedi Mike says, we all die, lol. Yeah, we do, but not Mace Windu apparently. Ah! Legion Canning says, Mace cannot be dead! No! He's probably dead, bro. But I hope not. Did Mace take Grogu from the temple? Well, if he's dead, no. But if he isn't, who knows, man? Possibly. I think Mace would be one of the few that knows about Grogu. I'm really curious if we'll ever see that, if we'll ever get that in a story. And I want to see it. I want to see who saved Grogu really bad. I think it's kind of important, They wouldn't tease it if it wasn't important, at least a little bit. What else though? No. Who did save Grogu? My money has kind of always been on Jocasta Noon, but I don't know where she would have taken him. I don't know what would have happened to him. It's very possible Grogu just hit on his own. And this little dude was probably pretty strong at the time. He had what, 20 years of training, just like Anakin. So just about, maybe 22. Who's to say Grogu wasn't a little beast at the time, and then he had to hide himself after the purge, and who's to say he didn't save himself? I don't know, man. I have no clue who saved Grogu. At one point, I thought Jocasta Noon, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Who do you guys think saved Grogu? Huh? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Who do you think saved Grogu? How do you think that little dude is alive? And why do you think he was by himself at the beginning of the Mando? Like, what? Think about that, man. Who just leaves a baby Yoda in a crib in the middle of a storage facility thing and, like, locked up in there? Like, that place was locked up tight. Like, how the heck long has he been there? Yeah, they talk about, Quill talks about how, like, tons of bounty hunters have tried to go in there and they've plagued his land. Like, who the heck just leaves a baby Yoda species is just freaking, like, I would never do that, man. What the hell? She would just snatch that kid up and train him in the ways of the dark side. OG fan, when Star Wars was just Star Wars, says Yoda saved Grogu. That could be possible, but it wouldn't explain what the heck Yoda did after Grogu. I guess Yoda would be dead at this time, but, like, wouldn't Luke have seen him? Maybe Luke knew him, but I don't think so. You know, I don't think Grogu recognized Luke. So, plus, where the heck would he have been in Empire and friggin' Return of the Jedi? What the hell? Who the hell is protecting Grogu in season 1? That's what I'm saying, man. Who just leaves a baby Grogu chilling in the middle of a planet? What? The last 2 arcs are gonna be hyped. Oh yes, be Grissom. They absolutely will be. I think these last, I love that this Ryloth arc is actually like a little arc. A lot of the show hasn't really felt like it's been an arc, but definitely they kicked it back into that Clone Wars feel with the last episode, and I think next episode is Rescue on Ryloth. I wonder what that could be about. But yeah, I think they could potentially do another like 2 arcs, or they could do like a Siege of Mandalore type of thing, where it's the last 4 episodes are all like kind of one movie kind of thing, and they go off the rails, man. I would love to see it. Luis Escalante says, I reckon Mace or Quinlan Vos has to be a Jedi Master. Well, it has to be someone that definitely knows about Grogu, and if Ahsoka didn't know about Grogu, it kind of makes you wonder. But then again, Ahsoka left a little bit before the Jedi Order fell, so who knows, man. He had been training there a while, it seems. I wonder if Anakin and Grogu knew each other back in the old days of the temple, you know? What up, Mr. Anderson? He says, what up, Sheev? And the rest of my Senpai. Oh, what's up, Mr. Anderson? How are you doing tonight, my good homie? I hope you are igniting that green with the Ahsoka and Luke sabers. You know what I'm saying? Legion Gaming says, what happened to Grogu's parents? What parents? Who's to say Grogu has a dad? What if, just like Anakin, the Force created him? And we will talk about this again now too, because Sheev just loves changing up the topics. Like I said earlier, what if the prophecy was misread? I'm not saying Grogu has to be the chosen one, but what if the light side and the dark side both sent out beings that would change the fate of the galaxy forever? The dark side created Anakin, who was still saved by the light of his son, and just because Anakin was a great person before he turned to the dark side. And then it spawned Grogu, who's had hints of darkness, just like Anakin. And for the next 800 years, Grogu will reign over the galaxy. In either good or bad ways. I think he will be quite the ruler of Mandalore, if you will. even though Mandalore might not exist, there will always be Mandalore the people. So kind of like how Thor is still like king of Asgard after Asgard gets destroyed in Ragnarok. I think even if Mandalore is destroyed, as the Empire has said, and Boba even says, I thought that planet was glassed or something. Who's to say that Grogu and Din Djarin couldn't become the leader of Mandalore again? Aiden Talks Star Wars Topic says, will the actions of Captain Hauser be the final nail in the coffin for the clone army? Will War Mantle take over 100%? Excellent question. I think you're on the right track there, Aiden. So we do know the episode titles for the rest of the month. We don't know the last 2 episodes of the series, which will be episodes 15 and 16. But this next episode will be Rescue on Ryloth. We have Infested after that, and then War Mantle. So I'm definitely thinking, especially I think Rescue on Ryloth, like I've been saying, could be a double meaning, where they're going to rescue the people of Ryloth, but then they're also going to rescue either Hauser or potentially rescue Crosshair. Sorry, had a blank there. They're going to potentially rescue both of them along with the people of Ryloth, or just Cham Syndulla at the least, and Hera Syndulla. But yeah, man, I think it's very possible that happens, and I think you're on the right track with Hauser and maybe even Crosshair defecting from the Empire. And then Infested could be the start of Project War Mantle. They could be, infesting the army with stormtroopers instead of clone troopers. The infestation could be the Empire. The clone troopers are getting infested by these stormtroopers. They're starting to weed out the clones, especially after Hauser and potentially Crosshair defecting. And then we have War Mantle, which could be the full-blown eradication of the clones and potentially eradication of the Kaminoans. So I definitely think, with those titles, we don't obviously know what's going to happen. This is purely speculation, but I think that is all a safe bet of what we could see the rest of the season. Who really knows? This is just me spitting stuff out there, but I think it could be really cool to see, and I think you're on the right track, Aiden. I'm on the same wavelength as you, my guy. Definitely on the same wavelength. Ducky Momo says, Palp saved Grogu, and Grogu was in the Kaminoan cloner orb. I was tagged, so it could be found later. It was tagged, so it could be found later? That doesn't make sense, though. Why would he do that? And why would he wait till he's dead? Don't you think he would have wanted to clone himself while he was alive? Maybe he thought he had more time, but I don't think so, man. I don't think Palp saved Grogu, If anything, he would have been like, my little green apprentice. You could be even stronger than Vader. Which he probably will be at some point. You know what I'm saying? Luis Escalante says, would you like Jaster Moreel cameo flashback in the Book of Boba? I think it would be really cool, but I don't know how it would make sense, because Jaster Moreel was like a father figure to Jango, not Boba. We could get more references. If you didn't know, actually, when he's showing his chain code to Din Djarin, in the Arabesh writing, you can see that Jaster Moreel was one of the previous owners of the armor. So it's very possible, man. It's possible we could at least get a reference. I don't know if we'll get an actual look of him, Luis, but it would be dope. Mark Hamilton says Boba catches up with Mace, and he's been his trophy in carbonite throughout the original trilogy. We'll see him freed in the Book of Boba Fett, then face off against Boba again. Okay, so the one problem with that theory, and I saw you talked about that in Santa's thing, the first time that carbonite is used to freeze someone is Han Solo, and that does not happen until the Empire Strikes Back. So I like where your head's at, and that would be really cool, but A, it's doubtful that Boba would want to keep him alive as a trophy. He would probably want to wreck that dude. And B, I don't even know if Boba would win that fight. I hope he would, and it's possible, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, man, I don't know about that one, man. It's a bit of a stretch. I'll tell you that much. It doesn't quite add up to me. Aiden Talk Star Wars says, will the actions... Oh, yes. I like that question. Thank you. Ducky Momo says, good. Call Mark Hamilton. That way, we get that three-way standoff between Boba, Mace, and Cad. Nah, I want a three-way standoff between Boba, Cad, and Fennec. That could happen in the Book of Boba Fett. Who's to say Fennec will always be loyal to him, huh? Obi-Wan the homie says, I love the scene with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Mace triple team Cad Bane to break him. Yes, that's pretty dope. Bo-Katan told him, this is OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars, says Bo-Katan told him not to believe everything they heard about Mandalore. Mandalore will rise again. That is very possible, and at the very least, like I said, Mandalore is still a people, and there are hundreds and hundreds of, there's some moons of Mandalore too. So, Conquer Dawn. So, who's to say that even if Mandalore, the planet, is glass, which of course we can never believe the Empire, but who's to say even if it's glass that Mandalore hasn't become a new world in a way? Legion Gaming says, at Vader's Lair. Lies. Carbonite was used earlier in the Clone Wars. By Anakin or what? Because I swear I thought the first time was... you might be right. I might be wrong. Don't listen to Sheev. Oh no. During the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, and the clone troopers under their command embarked on an extraction mission to the Citadel. They used a large facility housed the Jedi Temple to freeze themselves in carbonite as a means to smuggle their team past the prison facility lifeform scanners. That's what I'm saying, though. The only person that really knew about that was Anakin. Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, some people didn't even survive that mission to the, on the Citadel. But Anakin knew how to do the freezing of carbonite because of that episode in Clone Wars, and that's how he was able to put Han in carbonite. I don't think Boba Fett would have known about it, or any of the other bounty hunters, though. I don't think it was used until, I don't think it was used the way it is in Mando until, later on. Rello, Mace would kill Boba on an even fight. Yee! And who's to say it would be even exactly? Who knows if Mace is still the same powerful Jedi he was, if they eventually would fight, but who knows? Mark Hamilton says, yep, it's a stretch. Maybe Boba finds and freezing Mace after Empire Strikes Back. That could be possible. It could be possible that happens in this show, but I think it's more likely he would just want to kill him. He has some big issues with that guy. Legion Gaming says, do you think the Bad Batch will join the rebellion or stay neutral? Great question, man. It seems almost like Rex, in a way, is helping the rebellion. He's working with the Martez sisters. It seems like, they kind of hinted at him fighting against the Empire in a way, and he's looking for rogue clones to help. And obviously he finds Gregor and Wolf at some point, even if we don't see it in the Bad Batch. I think it's possible, man. I think I don't know if the rebellion will be around like this. I think the rebellion is really, really formed in Rebels, but I think they could be one of the first cells potentially, like rebel cells, even if they don't know that's what they are. I think that would make a lot of sense. Who knows if they'll live that long? Let's put it that way. Ducky Momo says, carbonite must have been used previously by Han. How else would Leia know about carbonite sickness? Huh. That is an excellent question. Plot holes. Or Sheev is just a dummy. I don't know. Something. I'm just probably stupid at this point. I have no idea. Mace would kill Boba on an even... Yes. I thought carbonite was used during the Citadel arc in the Clone Wars. Yes, you're right. I had forgot about that. I knew it happened. I just, in the moment, blanked. Legion Gaming. Who is Jaster Muriel? I heard you mention that name earlier. Sorry for the lack of knowledge. No worries, Legion Gaming. I even know a lot about Jaster Muriel, but from what I know, he was at least in Legends, he was one of the leaders of Mandalore. He was Mandalore, I think, even so, the leader of Mandalore. And at some point, you know, something happened with Mandalore where they were he was not dethroned, but he was kind of kicked off, and he ends up saving Jango Fett's life after his parents were murdered. And he takes in Jango Fett as a foundling, and kind of becomes the father figure to Jango Fett, sort of like Din is to Grogu. And correct me if I'm wrong, because apparently I'm spitting out wrong facts left and right tonight. I'm just tired, apparently. But yeah, Jaster Moreel is like the father of Jango Fett in a way, or you know, the adopted father of Jango Fett, and he kind of teaches him in the way of the Mandalorians, and you know, he gets his armor from him, I believe, or at least that's what the chain code says. Yeah, man, I think definitely. I think after that, you know, even Jango becomes Mandalore, or kind of takes the leader of the new Mandalorians or whatever, after Jaster Moreel dies. And Sheev we trust. Oh yes. Oh yes. The Galactic Republic will be reorganized into the first Galactic Empire. That's what we're talking about. Luis Escalante says, so he's Boba's grandpa. In a way. In a way, yes. Jaster Moreel would be kind of like Boba's grandpa. In a way, he's Boba's dad, or Boba's host father. So it's almost like Boba's father, because Boba's a clone, but he's the father to all the clones. Ducky Momo says, not sure. Probably need an actual canon explanation, because I think the comic about it is still Legends. Yeah, so who knows like exactly if that's the full story that they're going by canon wise, but that is what we know from Legends. That is what we know. Yeah, Boba's grandpa for sure. Boba's gramps confirmed. I was talking about Grogu earlier and Anakin. What do you guys think of that? Do you think there's a possible connection between Grogu and Anakin being born the same year? They were both born in 41 BBY. What do you think? Hawks Holocron says, who is your daddy and who does he do? What? And what does he do? Boba, is your dad here? Yup. Give me some Daniel Logan in the Book of Boba Fett. What do you guys think, though? Grogu and Anakin? Possible connection? Am I crazy for thinking that? Am I crazy? Is Sheev wild? Is Sheev wild now? What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking about that? Very possible, says B. Grissom. Oh, yes. Legion Gaming says, do you know what I don't get? How come destroying 5 planets destroyed the Republic? Didn't the Republic control lots of the galaxy? Please explain, Vader's Lair, says Legion Gaming. Are you talking about in the sequels? Because I believe those were kind of like the main planets of the Senate at that time. It wasn't Coruscant, but I think those were the planets that were kind of overseeing the New Republic. And basically the leaders of the New Republic were wiped out. So it wasn't exactly that the Republic... it's more that the Republic was destroyed because... You're right. They were in control of lots of the galaxy, but those 5 planets, or however many planets, were destroyed by Hux and the Starkiller base. They basically were the leaders of the New Republic, and when it'd be like the equivalent to Coruscant blowing up in the Clone Wars. They were twins. Just Grogu freaked out Shim, and he was Grogu freaked out Shmi when he was born, so she sold him off. Oh, that's freaking hilarious, Ducky Momo. That's good. B. Grissom says, nah, that tripped me out as well. You're probably talking about Legion Gaming, maybe. Tommy Banana says, maybe Grogu was the being Darth Plagueis was trying to make. What if, so we don't have canon confirmation that, Darth Vader or Anakin wasn't created by Palpatine, and in fact there was a Darth Vader comic where it seemingly insinuated that, and a lot of the fans, including myself, kind of thought, oh well, Palpy is the dad, and it kind of seemed that way. And then the writer of the comic said that it was not intended to be that way, to mean that, but that doesn't mean that that's not the case. On your point, Plagueis talks about how not Plagueis. Sheev talks about in the scene where he's telling Anakin about Darth Plagueis. He talks about how he knew how to create life, and he influenced the midi-chlorians to create life. So it's possible he created Anakin. Plagueis could have done that, and the Force responded by creating Grogu. And that is the base of my theory in a way. Grogu has to be Yoda's child. We do not know which planet they came from. Does he have to be, Luis? Does he have to? Because I don't think he has to. It could be Yaddle's child. She kind of disappeared, and that would make sense. I don't think we have canon confirmation she's dead. So who's to say Yaddle didn't all of a sudden get impregnated by the Force like Shmi did? What's with the Force, man? The Force is out here just wilding. It needs to use some protection. Darn Force. Always forcing itself upon these ladies. Get out of here, Force. You can't force me. Luis Escalante says, is the Acolyte Sith the master of Darth Tenebris? I'm with you, bro. I think that's very, very possible. I talked about, someone asked me if we could see Plagueis, and I said we could maybe see Tenebris or Tenebris's master. I think it maybe even is possible that this person is, the main character in the Acolyte is not Tenebris's master even, but the master to Tenebris's master. Who knows, though? That is an excellent question. I hope so. I think it would be dope. Ducky Momo says, Lucas always said that they never wanted Yoda's planet to be known, to keep Yoda as a wise, old, mysterious person or space shaman. Don't think we will ever see it while Dave is in charge. I'm in agreement with you 100%. I don't think we ever will, and I'm fine with it. It makes it more mysterious and even cooler. It makes their characters it's almost like how the Joker doesn't have a backstory, really, or there's no canon backstory for the Joker. It's kind of like that with Yoda. There's no real backstory to him. He's really mysterious, and having that little extra mystery makes their characters even cooler. Sheesh! You bringing out my thinking cap now, says B. Grissom. You can't force me. Ashton says, hey bro, what's up, Ashton? How you doing, man? Glad you could make it. Ashton's the homie. Relo says, or Yaddle went back into the homeworld of her and Yoda's species, then had Grogu. I think, if anything, Grogu is an impregnation of the Force. The Force out here wilding. It's not wearing any protection. It's just going around and doing whatever it wants to these lady mains out here in the galaxy. And it's wrong, man. It's wrong. Stop doing this. I mean, it is creating forces of nature, but also we know that Grogu has a very, very high midichlorian count. So that just adds to the freaking rumor, man, or to my theory. You know what I'm saying? He's the light side embodiment of Anakin. Ash in the building. That's right. Legion Gaming says, do you know what? I truly want a Sith show like each other's. Like each episode can tell the history and story of each Sith. That would be awesome. Legion Gaming, it would be, but I think they need to do the way they're kind of doing, where they're going to flesh it out over multiple series and movies. Like I talked about earlier, there is a rumored movie that will be based on Exegol. It is an untitled J.D. Dillard project, which will take place on Exegol, the hidden Sith planet last seen in The Rise of Skywalker. I think we are going to get more and more Sith stuff over time. We're going to get more backstory to these characters. And I'm here for it, man. I definitely think it's awesome, and I'm with you. I want to see more of it. I'm with you. I like that theory, says Ashton says. Oh, yes. I come up with some decent ones sometimes. Grogu is a space lizard. Kang variant confirmed. No. No. It's not true. Please. Ashton says, I wish we had Bad Batch tonight. Me too, man. Bad Batch should have been like a 2-night-a-week thing. Would have been a lot more lit, in my opinion, but it is very lit. It is very lit. Luis Escalante says, I think all Yoda species are force sensitives, so Grogu may be connected to Anakin, but perhaps it's so the stronger of his hair or something. Yeah, man, I think they are very connected. The fact that they're born the same year, they're both very, very mysterious beings that were seemingly created out of thin air from what we know. And they both have some of the highest midichlorian counts probably ever. You know, it's possible Grogu rivals that of Yoda's or even rivals that of Anakin's, who's even higher than Yoda. So I'm with you, man. It definitely seems like there's a connection, especially the fact that they definitely purposely created the Mandalorian for 9 BBY, and Grogu is 50 years, born the same year as Anakin. They didn't do that on accident. I'll tell you that much. It definitely means something. Ducky Momo says, maybe the next Visions season could be all the Sith backstories. That would be fun as heck to watch. I'm with you, man. If this first season of Visions is a banger and everybody enjoys it, I hope we get some canon stuff from them. But yeah, I'm with you, man. So tomorrow is the day, says Rello. The day that we find out that King Loki is behind everything. Oh, yes. I'm with you. Tomorrow is the day. Ducky Momo says, maybe the next Vision. No, yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Oh, my goodness. We've been going an hour and 10 minutes almost. We'll go a little bit longer. What are you guys thinking, though? You hyped for the rest of Star Wars, man? Should I bring up the future of what we are seeing? Do you guys want to see the future projects that are confirmed outside of the Book of Boba? Because I'll bring that up right now if I can. I don't know if my computer will let me, but I hope so. I hope so. Well, hold on. Let's see if I even can. I doubt it. Watch this not work, because my computer is just going to be like, nope. Let's try it. Nope. Oh, it worked. All right. Well, here's some of the future projects. We have Mandalorian. Who knows about Rangers? It's still on there, though. We have the World Between Worlds Ahsoka show. You know what I'm saying? Andor. Definitely dope. Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Bad Batch, the rest of it, the last 5 episodes, if not another season of it. Visions, which looks pretty lit. Lando, The Acolyte, A Droid Story, Rogue Squadron, and much, much more, man. Taika Waititi, Kevin Feige, and, a Rian Johnson trilogy. I'm just playing. Maybe, though. Who knows? We'll get out of here. We'll go back in the line. We're going to finish up real quick. How you guys feeling, though? You hyped about the future of Star Wars? So many shows, says Legion Gaming. Yes! Yeah, it's shows and movies, but definitely. I think that might have actually just been the shows. You're right. Yeah, those are all shows. Those aren't even the movies coming out. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of cool shows coming to Disney Plus, man. I'm excited. My hype is at a 10. My hype is at a 10. Ducky Momo says, so when Rey said she was all the Jedi, do you think Grogu dissed her and didn't chime in to say anything inspiring to her? Grogu was probably like, fuck them. No. I think Rey was tripping. She's just all the prequel Jedi. And all the Luke Jedi. And, Leia. Who, I don't know, man. There's plot holes everywhere, it seems like. Grogu better not be dead. What the hell? Plus, no. She's not all the Jedi, man. She's not. She's not all the Jedi. She's just all the dead Jedi. Just like Palpatine's all the dead Sith. Yeah. Don't kill Grogu. Well, he's... Boom! Grogu's not a Jedi. Whoa! He's a Mandalorian. Ooh! There you go. There you go. Now I'm on the right track. Star Wars MCU OG says, the next few years are going to be fun for Star Wars fans. Absolutely they will. I'm already ready. I'm ready for it. Bring it on. Give me all the Star Wars I can take. Luis Escalante says, I'm hyped for the things we know about, but the real hype comes with the things we don't know about. Isn't that the freaking truth? Kevin Feige's movie has me extremely hyped. That has me more hyped than anything at this point, you know? I think it's going to culminate in an Avengers type movie for Star Wars, and there's nothing I want more. There's nothing I want more. Ducky Momo says, I'm rooting for the Feige movie to be Darth Bane. No! No! Don't waste his potential with a Darth Bane movie. We've already seen... Not that Darth Bane's not cool. But we've seen stuff and legends about Darth Bane. And they could do that in a show. They could do that in something. I don't want it to be Feige's movie, man. Nah. Make Feige's movie epic. Something even cooler than Darth Bane, man. Legion Gaming says, Vader's Lair, do you recommend reading the Star Wars comics? I recommend it to myself, and I've barely read anything. So yes, I do recommend them. Go ahead and read all the Star Wars canon you want to. Get your Star Wars knowledge better than Sheev, so you guys can keep dissing me on these streams. Ahsoka wasn't a Jedi either. Ah, yeah, and Ahsoka still freaking, you heard her voice, but... The Star Wars universe is spoiling us. It's spoiling us. Old Republic Feige movie for the win. No. No. I want a Feige Avengers movie that's not Old Republic. Give me a Feige movie that has Mando, Ahsoka. That is Mando. Grogu as a beast little Mandalorian Jedi guy. And then Luke Skywalker. I want that. Give me even Leia in it. Leia with the lightsaber. I want all those things. I don't want an Old Republic show. Give me an Old Republic new game. I'm okay. Give me an Old Republic show. That Feige thing is a movie. Legion Gaming says, who is Feige? Ho, 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 ho. Imagine if Dave Filoni controlled all of Star Wars. If you know who Dave Filoni is too. Imagine if Dave Filoni controlled all of Star Wars. Like he was Kathleen, but in a way that he just ran all the story decisions. I mean, he kind of is becoming the Feige of Star Wars, but Kevin Feige is the greatest producer probably of all time. He's responsible for basically all of the Marvel movies that you see almost ever. No, he worked on the X-Men movies back in the day, and he has been a big part of what Marvel has done with the MCU, if not the biggest part of the MCU. Kevin Feige makes all the decisions of Marvel these days, at least cinematic-wise. Everything goes to Kevin Feige's desk. He's the one that you have to thank for Avengers Endgame and Infinity War more than anybody. Kevin Feige is an absolute nerd, and he loves Star Wars more than he even loves Marvel, and he has the chance, because Marvel and Star Wars are so closely connected with Disney now, to create his own and produce his own Star Wars movie. And he will actually have writer Michael Waldron, who worked on the Loki series and was one of the main writers for this show. If you've been watching the Loki series, it's freaking amazing. And he's also a writer on Doctor Strange 2, and he wrote for Rick and Morty. Michael Waldron is a freaking amazing writer. I love his work so far. And I think him and Feige are going to make an incredible Star Wars movie that will be an Avengers level event for Star Wars. To answer your question. Ducky Momo says, haha, I can see all the updates. Mark Hamilton across my screen while I watch Sheep. I'm uploading Vader comics while I'm watching Sheep. Bet Mark Hamilton. I'll go check out the Vader comics. By the way, while we're on that note, big congratulations to the homie Star Wars Santa. If you guys didn't know, he reached his monetization level. Or, he reached those 4,000 hours he needed. And today he was officially monetized. Congratulations to you, Star Wars Santa. Cad Bane is still going to die by the hand of Boba Fett. And you're still going to have this in your background while you're monetized. So I cannot wait for that. Congrats to you, though, man. I couldn't be happier for you. And now Sheev is on his own goal to get monetized. So if you guys can smash that like button, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and join the Simpire. Check out our Discord. We're going to be doing a Funko Pop giveaway. We're going to be giving away 5 Funkos. We're going to be giving away the Bad Batch. See you guys when we hit 500 subscribers. And trust me, when we hit 1,000 subscribers and reach that monetization level of 4,000 hours, we're going to have some big plans for the channel. So thank you guys for checking out the video. Thank you guys for checking out the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely think the future of Star Wars is really bright. I cannot wait for what is to come. Again, smash that like button if you did enjoy this live stream, and subscribe for more awesome Star Wars content just like this. I hope you guys have a great rest of your nights or day, depending on when you're watching this. And may the Force be with you always. Sheev out. Before we leave, Grogu is going to be even stronger than Anakin. He's the real chosen one. I don't care what anybody says. Grogu for the win. Grogu to the moon. And give me some Daniel Logan and the Bad Batch and the Book of Boba Fett. Let's go!